Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kelsey Kiesling.
And I'm Kendra Cook. Dolores County Broadcasting Network is a producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest TV Translator Association.
If you have a news topic or event you'd like to see covered, give us a call. The studio number is 677-4119.
Today's show runs Wednesday at noon and is uploaded to our YouTube channel and our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page to watch on demand. Today is September 19th, 2018, and now the news at noon.
According to the Durango Herald, a school-based survey shows nearly 1 in 11 U.S. students have used marijuana in electronic cigarettes, heightening health concerns about the new popularity of vaping among teens. E-cigarettes typically contain nicotine, but many of the battery-powered devices can vaporize other substances, including marijuana. Results published Monday mean 2.1 million middle and high school students have used them to get high. Vaping is generally considered less dangerous than smoking because burning tobacco or marijuana generates chemicals that are harmful to the lungs. But there is little research on e-cigarettes' long-term effects, including whether they help smokers quit. The rise in teenagers using e-cigarettes has alarmed health officials who worry kids will get addicted to nicotine, a stimulant, and be more likely to try cigarettes. Last week, the Food and Drug Administration gave the 5 largest e-cigarette makers 60 days to produce plans to stop underage use of their products. Nearly 9% of students surveyed in 2016 said they used an e-cigarette device with marijuana, according to Monday's report in the journal JAMA Pediatrics. That included 1/3 of those who ever used e-cigarettes. The number is worrying because cannabis use among youth can adversely affect learning and memory and may impair later academic achievement and education, said lead researcher Katrina Trevers of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Students who said they lived with a tobacco user were more likely than others to report vaping marijuana. It's unclear whether marijuana vaping is increasing among teens or holding steady. The devices have grown into a multi-billion industry, but they are relatively new.
From the Journal Herald File Photo. The Dolores Ranger District plans to conduct 2 prescribed burns beginning late September and potentially lasting into October, weather permitting. The South Carver burn will take place 3 miles north of Summit Reservoir near the intersection of U.S. Forest Service Roads 556 and 557 in the Carver Canyon area of Hay Camp Mesa. About 1,200 acres will be burned by hand crews over 5 to 7 days. The goal is to reduce slash left from a previous timber sale and reduce the buildup of natural fuels. Smoke will be visible from Colorado Highway 184 between Dolores and Mancos, as well as from Cortez. Smoke may settle into low-lying areas near the burn overnight. The Lake Canyon prescribed burn will take place 12 miles east of Dove Creek, near the Glade area west and south of Forest Roads 504 and 509. Both hand and aerial ignition methods will be used for 2 to 5 days to ignite 2,700 acres. The goal is to reduce ground litter by mimicking historic fire return intervals. Smoke may be visible from Dove Creek, Cortez, U.S. Highway 491 between Dove Creek and Pleasant View areas. Smoke may settle into the low-lying valleys and the Dolores River Canyon overnight. Smoke monitoring will be conducted and ignitions will be timed to maximize smoke dispersal. Burning operations will be conducted by qualified district personnel and other fire resources from the Forest Service and cooperating agencies. The purpose is to reduce hazardous ground fuels, reduce the risk of unplanned catastrophic wildfire, restore ponderosa pine ecosystems, and improve wildlife habitat while providing conditions for regular follow-up burns to be conducted more efficiently and safely. Ponderosa pine forests are a fire-adapted ecosystem which historically experienced frequent low-intensity fires on a large scale. Prescribed fire replicates that fire regime under controlled conditions. Prescribed fires will only be ignited when all weather, fuels, and smoke requirements are met.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, Troy Zabel, the former superintendent of the Bayfield School District, died Sunday, September 16, 2018, surrounded by his family in Hayden. He was 52 years old. Zabel was hired as Bayfield superintendent on July 1, 2011, and retired on June 30, 2017, after announcing earlier that month that he had brain cancer. He cut back on his administrative duties in 2016. After his retirement, he continued working on special projects for the district. Bayfield school staff organized a Get Well party, concert, and fundraiser for Zabel in October 2016. He also was the honorary assistant coach of Bayfield High School volleyball team for a game that fall, which featured signs that read Zabel Strong. The girls took the Intermountain League volleyball title from Alamosa that night. During his 6 years in Bayfield, the district built the Bayfield Performing Arts Center, baseball field, and practice gym at BHS. In 2016, district voters passed a $28.7 million bond issue to build a new elementary school for 3rd through 5th grades, as well as renovating the current Bayfield Elementary School into a K-2 building. The state contributed grant funding as well. Ribbon cuttings were held for those facilities in August.
From the Durango Herald, photos Jerry McBride. Commercial logging is making a comeback in the San Juan Mountains. Stagnant over the past decade, Matt Janowiak, district manager for the U.S. Forest Service's Columbine District, said timber sales will increasingly be reintroduced on the landscape of the National Forest in southwest Colorado. In the next few years, logging may start on 62,000 acres of ponderosa pine near Dolores, the biggest project in the region. Demand is increasing, so there's going to be more of it, Janowiak said. Commercial logging has lagged the past decade as demand for lumber waned, he said, driven in large part by the Great Recession around 2008 and its impacts on the housing industry. A further hit to the industry locally occurred around 2011 when the region's largest mill, Montrose Forest Products, declared bankruptcy. The Forest Service in southwest Colorado, however, has gradually been rebuilding its timber program since 2011 as demand ramps back up. Most recently, a logging operation started north of Bayfield on about 650 acres along Beaver Meadows Road. The sale will remove over the next 3 years about 52,000 spruce trees that died from beetle kill. The Forest Service, by mandate, is tasked with a variety of responsibilities on public lands, including creating hiking trails for recreational use, protecting the health of the forest, and opening opportunities for industry like mining or timber sales. Recently, the Trump administration called for more logging on the national forest as a cost-effective strategy that would reduce the risk of wildfire. In the San Juan National Forest, at least, Janowiak said he doesn't expect any large-scale clear-cutting timber operations. Instead, timber cutting will be a more low-intensity project on the land.
According to the Durango Herald, cutbacks at Southwest Memorial Hospital in Cortez are having an impact on Dolores. Southwest Health System CEO Tony Sudduth told the Dolores Town Board about the hospital's financial health. Sudduth is part of the Colorado Hospital Corps consulting team hired in July by hospital officials to analyze the books and implement a recovery plan. In August, to control runaway costs, Southwest Health cut 40 full-time positions, including 6 from the ambulance department. As a result, ambulances no longer will be stationed in Dolores, Sudduth said, but they will continue to serve the area. The cutbacks in staff were a tough decision, Sudduth said, but necessary to keep the hospital financially viable. In April 2017, Southwest Health System and the Dolores Fire Department teamed up to station an ambulance crew 24/7 at the fire station, which provided sleeping quarters. The arrangement was ideal, said Dolores Fire Chief Mike Zion, because Dolores is well positioned to serve a large area, including the town, Colorado Highway 145, the West Fork, Dolores River, McPhee Reservoir, Groundhog, and Rico. Southwest ambulances will be stationed in Cortez and Mancos and will continue to respond to the Dolores area. The Dolores Fire Protection District's EMS ambulances also respond to emergencies using trained volunteer personnel, Zion said. Because of the hospital's financial crisis, Southwest Health System no longer plans to open a health clinic in Dolores, Sudduth said. Southwest Health purchased the office building at 601 Central Avenue, formerly Mountain Stone, for $295,000 in July 2017, according to the Montezuma County Assessor's database. The building was undergoing a remodel to house examination rooms, reception area, and doctor offices. And now let's take a look at the weather.
The national weather map here shows that with the exception of very light precipitation, most of the East Coast will be dry today. Flooding issues remain a concern after Florence. However, heavy rain will continue across the northern Central Plains and upper Midwest today, in addition to thunderstorms across the desert Southwest, which could result in flooding in those regions. The Gulf Coast and Florida remain under possible rain and cloudy skies, along with the swath of states from the Southwest through the Eastern Intermountain West and across to the Great Lakes. Regionally, a hazardous weather outlook is issued with critical fire weather conditions expected across northeast and east central Utah, as well as northwest Colorado, due to increasing southwest winds and low relative humidity ahead of a cold front expected to move through tonight. Elsewhere, showers and a few embedded thunderstorms will move from the Four Corners through southern and central Colorado today. Brief heavy downpours will be the primary threat. And the DCTV 5-day outlook. Today's a slight chance of showers between 10 a.m. and noon, and then a chance of showers and thunderstorms afternoon. Cloudy with a high near 75 degrees. East winds 5 to 15 miles an hour, becoming west in the afternoon. The chance of precipitation is 30% according to the National Weather Service. Tonight, a chance of showers and thunderstorms before 11 p.m. and then a slight chance of showers between 11 and 1 a.m. Mostly cloudy with a low around 48 degrees. South winds 10 to 15 miles an hour, becoming east after midnight. The chance of precipitation remains at 30%. Thursday, clouds clear out to be a sunny day, cooler with a high near 76. East winds 5 to 15 miles an hour, becoming west in the morning. Thursday night, clear with a low around 47. North-northeast winds 5 to 15. Friday, Sunday, sunny with a high near 78. North-northeast winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming south-southwest in the afternoon. Friday night, clear with a low around 49. Saturday, sunny with a high near 77. Saturday night, mostly clear with a low around 50. And Sunday, sunny with a high near 78. Sunday night, partly cloudy with a low around 52. And heading into next week, Monday, it is also going to be sunny with a high near 77 right now. Monday night, partly cloudy with a low around 50. And here's the photo of the current morning sky from the DCTV live webcam feed on a camera above the courthouse looking west to the Abajos. Let us know how much rain, if any, falls where you are today. We share these posts on the DCTV Facebook group called Dove Creek Local Weather Picks. Come join us and share your views. And now, back to the news.
From the Durango Herald with a photo by Jerry McBride with the Herald. A community of tiny homes may sprout next year in Durango as a proposal to build 22 of them on 1.77 acres has gained support from city leaders. City councilors approved a preliminary plan for an approximately $2 million project to build Escalante Village, a community of tiny homes at 224 Baker Lane along the Animas River. The proposed community could be populated by spring 2019. City Council approved annexation of the land into the city initial zoning and a conceptual development plan in July. The Planning Commissions voted unanimously in August to recommend that the Council approve the preliminary site plan. Council delegated final approval of the project to city staff. The project is the fruit of a movement that has gained momentum across the United States in the past few years. One, to reduce space needed to live and minimize human impact on the environment. Bob Lieb, developer of the project, said he caught the bug for tiny homes in October 2017 and couldn't let go of the idea. Lieb is planning to rent 7 tiny homes already at the site and offer space for 16 more. Those 7 homes could be rented for between $500 and $750 per month.
Similar to what's happening over in Moab, the unstoppable growth of hotel rooms there is also happening in Durango. Reported from the Durango Herald, courtesy photo and Jerry McBride credit. Durango's lodging industry is looking at ways to make room for 475 new hotel rooms that will come online in the next 1.5 to 2 years. It's as scary as a lodger. It's too much too soon, but at the same time we welcome them, said Phoebe Ogden, general manager of the 116-room Holiday Inn and Suites on Highway 160, which was the first hotel built in Durango in more than 10 years when it opened in January of 2013. Recent additions since the Holiday Inn came online: the Homewood Suites with 78 rooms, the Fairfield Inn and Suites by Marriott with 81 rooms, and a La Quinta Inn and Suites with 96 rooms. All made the market more competitive, and Ogden expects that trend to continue when 6 hotels now approved and in the development stage eventually open their doors. The Holiday Inn's rooms rented from $119 to $230 in 2016. The room rate dropped to a range between $99 and $199 this year, she said. Ogden, who also serves as vice president of the Durango Area Hotel and Lodging Association and is a member of the Durango Area Tourism Office Board of Directors, said from a broader economic perspective, the new hotels will enhance opportunities for visitors and more competitive room rates will benefit their pocketbooks. Rod Barker, president and CEO of the Strater Hotel, 699 Main Avenue, said the unique position of his hotel, a historic property downtown, protects him from the added competition compared with brand name hotels. But the new rooms, he said, intensify the pressure to diversify the tourism base by building a conference and performing arts center. The lodging industry is rallying behind an effort to develop a conference and performing arts center in town to get a foothold in the $325 billion industry to host business and trade association meetings and conferences. Frank Lockwood, executive director of the Durango Area Tourism Office, said he expects remodeling will occur at older hotels to deal with the new competition. Ultimately, the best solution is to increase tourism, Ogden, Barker, and Lockwood agree. We turn away a lot of business because we don't have the facilities, other than at Skyute Casino, to accommodate groups over 250, Ogden said. We get calls all the time from people wanting to bring meetings to Durango, but there's just no way, she said. DATO and lodge owners are aiming for the April ballot to ask voters to approve an increase in the lodger's tax from 2% to 6%, which would increase tax revenue from $1 million annually to $6 million, with most revenue used to promote tourism. Because visitors pay the tax, Ogden is optimistic voters will pass the increase if the measure makes the ballot. Lockwood said the effort to increase the lodger's tax depends on an agreement with the city to narrow the scope of how revenue from the tax can be used. He said hoteliers want clear wording that the bulk of the tax revenue would go to tourism promotion and to support operations of a new conference and performing arts center. Currently, about $250,000 in lodgers tax collections supports city transit operations. STR Global, which provides an analytics to the hotel industry, lists 2,575 hotel rooms in La Plata County in 2018. In 2011, STR listed 2,370 hotel rooms in the county. Roger Zalneraltis, executive director of the La Plata Economic Development Alliance, noted La Plata County in 2018 is barely exceeding the 2,500 hotel rooms it had in 1990, according to data from STR Global. Another indicator he compiled, examining the number of jobs in the county compared to the number of hotel rooms, also fails to indicate the county has too many rooms. Jobs are used as a measure of needed hotel rooms to meet business travel generated in a community. According to Zalneraltis, La Plata County had 19,786 jobs in 1990, which amounted to 7.9 jobs per hotel room. In 2018, the county had 41,869 jobs, which amounted to 16.3 jobs per hotel room. Quote, even with 6 new hotels in the pipeline, we may only get back to the level of hotel supply we had 15 years ago, not nearly the same level that we had 25 to 30 years ago. So even though it looks like there are a lot of new hotels, in reality, we may simply be trying to catch up with demand rather than overbuilding, he said in a recent newsletter sent to members of the Alliance.
From the Cortez Journal, almost 4 years after making the decision to amputate her lower leg, Durangoan B. Mathis is planning to climb one of the world's tallest active volcanoes. She was selected to climb Cotopaxi, a 19,347-foot peak in Ecuador, with 20 other climbers as part of a range of motion projects effort to prove that amputees are not disabled when they have access to prosthetic care. The mission of the Range of Motion Project, also known as ROMP, or ROMP, is in line with Mathis's own views. Mathis shattered the bones in her ankle and leg in a climbing accident in 2011, and after 6 surgeries, she decided to have her leg amputated 6 inches below the knee so she could get back to biking, hiking, and climbing. She finds it unfair that 80% of amputees live in the developing world, while 2% have access to prosthetic care, she said. Mathis's goal is to raise $3,700 for ROMP before leaving Friday on the climb. ROMP has organized a major climb every year since 2015 to raise money for prosthetic patients in the United States, Guatemala, and Ecuador who do not have access to care. ROMP expects to provide prosthetic limbs to about 400 patients this year, said Lauren Panesowicz, director of events for the nonprofit.
From the Southwest Colorado TV Translator Association, Abajo Peak television signals will change frequencies on Monday, September 24th. Following the change, viewers who receive a television signal from Abajo Peak will need to rescan and, in some instances, modify or change their antennas. If you're receiving the DCTV signal off of our courthouse building broadcasting antenna, nothing should change for you, though you may want to rescan your TV if you have are having channel dropouts. A 2012 move by the U.S. Congress resulted in an 84 megahertz television spectrum reduction that requires broadcasters and translators across the country to change frequencies. On September 24th, 6 San Juan County TV channels, the Abajo Peak translator site, will be moved to high-band VHF, and although some antennas will continue to receive those signals, other viewers may need to switch to a combination VHF-UHF antenna. Television channel numbers will not change. None of the changes will affect the communities of Mexican Hat, Bluff, Montezuma Creek, or Eneth. Viewers in Colorado may need to consult an antenna professional for assistance if they need to change the type of an antenna to accommodate both VHF and UHF. For more information on the planned Abajo Peak frequency change in Utah, email San Juan County TV at sanjuancounty.org, and in Southwest Colorado, email the Southwest Colorado TV Translator Association, SWCO-TV, at frontier.net.
And now for the Dolores County Sheriff's Roundup for the week of September 10th through the 16th. Received a request for a welfare check on a local resident. A deputy located the subject and all was okay. RICO Search and Rescue was called out for a subject needing assistance in Montezuma County off of Highway 145. Dolores County Dispatch assisted with communications between search and rescue members and Cortez. A deputy helped a town resident gain access to their locked storage shed. That concludes today's roundup. Stay tuned for continued updates.
And today's High Canyon Country happenings. Thursday, September 20th. It's the third Thursdays event in Montezuma Park in Cortez. Free ice cream, free third Thursday. Come hot and cold stainless thermoses while supplies last. Mugshot photo booth, food vendors, beer, and fun while listening to the Cannondalls play. Mesa Productions will be covering it live to Facebook, and 98.7 KRTZ will be featuring it on the radio. Sponsored by the Cortez Retail Enhancement Association. Friday, September 21st at Blondie's Trophy Room in Cortez. It's Fireball Friday with Genuine Cowhide, starting at 8 p.m. Taken from Genuine Cowhide's Facebook page, it says roots, rock, jangle, pop, Americana, spaghetti, western, swing, nitro, twang with B-Bender overtures. No cover charge. And Friday is also the fall equinox, and at the Canyon Country Discovery Center in Monticello, they are celebrating with a star party on the 21st from 8 to 9:30 p.m. It's a unique experience exploring the night sky. CCDC staff will be manning the 14-inch telescope, leading activities and facilitating discussions. The party will move indoors if there is inclement weather, which I don't think is in the forecast right now. Free for everyone, and happy equinox. That's when the hours of daylight and nighttime are equal at 12 and 12. From here on to December, we continue to have shorter daylight hours. All of these happenings are posted on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with the YouTube replays, weather, original stories, and local posts. To share your event or information, contact us. The email is dcbnnews@gmail.com or call the station 970-677-4119.
Thanks for tuning in. News at Noon airs at noon Monday through Thursday and then is available online on our YouTube channel and our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page on demand.
Be sure to like us there on Facebook and join in on the news of our area, and of course, please share it with a friend.
For Kendra Cook with DCTV and the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.